Have you ever noticed this? The moment you get close to breaking through, the job, the relationship, the abundance, something inside you tightens. Resistance shows up. Suddenly you're doubting yourself. Old fears surface, emotions get heavy, and it feels like sabotage. But what if I told you, it isn't sabotage at all? What if the resistance you feel isn't your enemy, but your subconscious desperately trying to speak to you? Because here's the truth. The subconscious doesn't block you to hurt you. It blocks you to protect you. And the closer you get to expansion, the louder it becomes. Not to stop your shift, but to make sure you're safe enough to hold it. Pause for emotion. Deep tone here. Why the subconscious speaks in loops. Your subconscious doesn't speak in words. It speaks in patterns. That's why the same relationship dynamic keeps repeating. That's why you keep manifesting opportunities that almost work, but collapse at the last moment. That's why the same fears keep showing up, even though you've worked on them. It's not punishment, it's communication. The subconscious asks, do you feel safe enough to expand? If not, it pulls you back into familiar pain, because familiar pain feels safer than unfamiliar freedom. This is the first quantum truth. You are not stuck. You are sinking. Your subconscious is simply trying to match the energetic signature you've been carrying the longest. And until you update that signature, the loop continues. The quantum mirror. Here's where the quantum field comes in. The field doesn't respond to what you want. It reflects what you are. It mirrors your dominant vibration, your subconscious programs, the emotions you live in daily, the stories wired into your nervous system. So when you say, I want abundance, but your subconscious signature is still coded with fear, lack, or unworthiness, the field responds to the signature, not the words. This is why affirmations and positive thinking can feel powerless. You're saying one thing, but broadcasting another. And so the field in its perfect neutrality keeps looping you into experiences that match the deeper frequency. It's not rejection, it's reflection. Why the collapse comes before the shift. Now here's something most people don't realize. The biggest breakdowns often happen right before the leap. Why? Because the moment you raise your frequency, everything that doesn't belong in that higher reality begins to shake loose. Your nervous system panics. Your subconscious says, wait, we've never been here before. Is it safe? Can we survive this? This is why expansion often feels like chaos. The old self is collapsing. The old signatures are unraveling. But instead of understanding this as a natural part of quantum shift, most people misinterpret it. They think, I'm failing. I'm blocked. I'll never change. And so they collapse back into the old loop, right when they were seconds away from breakthrough. Meeting the subconscious with awareness, not war. Here's the shift that changes everything. You don't overcome your subconscious by fighting it. You realign it by listening to it. When fear comes up, ask, what are you protecting me from? When resistance hits, ask, what part of me still feels unsafe to expand? When old emotions surface, ask, what memory, what belief is this energy tied to? You can't heal by waging war with yourself. You heal by creating coherence between heart, body, and field. The moment your subconscious feels seen and safe, the pattern dissolves, the loop ends. And suddenly the energy you've been fighting against becomes the very fuel that propels you forward. Why the loop never ends? The trap of familiar pain. Let's start here. Why do the same patterns keep showing up? Why do relationships collapse the same way? Finances peak and then crash. Opportunities come close and then disappear. It feels personal. It feels like failure, but it's not. It's programming. Your subconscious mind is not logical. It doesn't care about your vision board, your affirmations, or your goals. It is wired for one thing, familiarity, safety in the known. So if pain is familiar, if struggle is familiar, if waiting, wanting, and never arriving has been the default story, your subconscious will loop it, not because it enjoys suffering, but because it believes. This is what keeps us alive. And here's the quantum truth. The field doesn't give you what you want. It mirrors what you are. It reflects the energetic signature you live in most consistently. That is why familiar pain repeats itself. Not because you're broken, not because you're failing, but because your system is running a program that says, this is who we are. This is reality. Have you ever wondered why, just when you feel like you're on the edge of breakthrough, everything seems to tighten, the opportunities vanish, the energy drops, old fears come rushing back, and in that moment, you think, why does this always happen to me? Why can't I just break free? But what if I told you, this is not sabotage? What if the resistance you feel is not a wall, but a doorway? Your subconscious is not your enemy. It is not trying to hold you back. It is speaking to you. It is asking you one single sacred question: are we safe to expand now? And if you can understand this language, if you can decode what your subconscious is desperate for you to realize, you can move past the loops, the fears, the self-sabotage, and step fully into quantum alignment. The collapse before creation, the quantum mechanics of change. Now here's where it gets profound. Right before a breakthrough, right before a shift, the subconscious gets louder. The resistance gets stronger. Why? Because change requires collapse. In quantum physics, before a new reality can stabilize, the old wave function must collapse. Energy must reorganize. Patterns must destabilize. And in your life, that looks like chaos. It looks like breakdown. It feels like everything is falling apart. But what if I told you, this is not destruction, this is creation in disguise. The field is reorganizing around a higher frequency. Your nervous system is trying to recalibrate, and your subconscious, desperate to be included in the leap, is surfacing its oldest, deepest fears so they can finally be seen, felt, and dissolved. That's why, right before the quantum shift, it feels like sabotage. It's not sabotage, it's synchronization. How to meet your subconscious without war. This is where most people get stuck. They go to war with their subconscious. They try to silence the fear. They try to overpower the resistance. They push harder, affirm louder, hustle more, chase stronger. But here's the secret. Whatever you fight, you feed. The subconscious doesn't need war. It needs coherence. It needs a signal from you, from your heart, your body, your higher self, that says we are safe, we can expand, it is okay to grow. That's when the loops dissolve. That's when the fear loses power. That's when your subconscious becomes your ally instead of your saboteur. Because the subconscious is not against you, it's for you. It's trying to protect you. All it needs is permission. All it needs is reassurance that the unknown can be safe. The quantum language of emotion. Here's what most people don't realize. Your subconscious doesn't speak in words. It speaks in emotion. Every time you feel resistance, it is communication. Every time fear spikes, your system is speaking. Every pattern, every trigger, every spiral, it is your body saying, are we safe? And this is where quantum truth meets neuroscience. Bruce Lipton showed us through epigenetics that your body is the subconscious mind. Your cells are listening. Your nervous system is constantly scanning for safety. So when you enter a state of heart-brain coherence, when you breathe, regulate, and drop into trust, you're not just calming yourself down. You're sending a quantum signal into the field. I am safe. I am coherent. I am ready. And the field responds, because the quantum field is not out there. It is entangled with you. It mirrors your dominant state. The power of coherence, the reset button. Think of coherence like tuning an instrument. When your mind is in fear but your heart is in trust, you're out of tune. The signal you send is chaotic, and the field reflects that chaos back to you. But when your mind, your heart, and your body come into coherence, when the story, the feeling, and the energy align, the field collapses into clarity. Reality reorganizes around your frequency. This is why meditation works, why breathwork works, Why nervous system regulation is the key? Because coherence is the language the field understands. And when you choose coherence, even in the presence of fear, you shift timelines. You stabilize new realities. You stop looping and start leaping. The reminder you needed. So let me remind you, you are not stuck. You are sinking. What you've been calling sabotage may actually be your subconscious asking for reassurance. What you've been calling collapse may actually be the quantum field reorganizing. And what you've been calling failure may actually be the first evidence that the old program is dissolving. You are not late. You are not behind. You are right on time. And the truth your subconscious is desperate for you to realize is this: you are already safe to expand. The universe is not testing you. It is inviting you. The doorway has always been within you. The leap has always been yours to take. Why familiar patterns feel safer than freedom? Here's a paradox your conscious mind will resist, but your subconscious knows well. Freedom feels unsafe until it's familiar. Think about it. If you've lived in scarcity, abundance will trigger fear. If you've lived in heartbreak, real love will feel overwhelming. If you've lived in control, surrender will feel like death. Your subconscious doesn't chase joy, it chases familiarity. That's why so many people self-sabotage right when things are going well. The body says, this is unknown. Unknown means unsafe. But here's the good news. When you expose yourself to small doses of the unknown and regulate your nervous system through it, freedom becomes familiar. Abundance becomes familiar. Love becomes familiar. And when the unknown feels safe, the subconscious stops resisting and begins to cooperate. The shadow side of desire. Most people believe their desire is pure. I just want abundance. I just want healing. I just want love. But beneath that desire, the subconscious often hides another signal: fear of not having it. And in the quantum field, fear is still energy. Fear of lack is still lack. Fear of rejection is still rejection. The field doesn't judge, it reflects. This is why, when you chase your desire with desperation, you repel it. Your subconscious emits the vibration of not enough. So the shift is not in desiring harder. It's in dissolving the fear beneath desire. It's in embodying the state of already having, already being, already living. That's when the subconscious stops screaming, because it no longer senses lack. It senses safety in the now. The nervous system's quantum role. We cannot talk about the subconscious without talking about the nervous system. Every leap you want to make, financial, relational, spiritual, must first pass through your body's filter of safety. When fear arises during a shift, it's not weakness, it's biology. Your body is asking, can we survive this expansion? And here's the quantum piece. Your nervous system doesn't just regulate your body, it regulates your frequency. If your system is in survival mode, you emit chaos into the field. If your system is in safety, you emit coherence. This is why grounding practices, breath, and meditation are not optional. They are the bridge that convinces your subconscious, yes, we can hold this reality. Because manifesting isn't about bypassing your body, it's about upgrading its default settings to match the future you're calling in. Meeting resistance with curiosity. Here's a radical reframe. Resistance is not a problem to solve. It's an invitation to listen. Every time you feel procrastination, fear, or doubt, pause and ask, what are you trying to protect me from? Most of the time, the answer is something ancient, a childhood memory, a generational imprint, a story inherited from culture. When you meet resistance with curiosity instead of shame, you turn it into a guide. Instead of blocking you, it shows you exactly what is asking to be healed. And the moment the subconscious feels heard, its grip loosens. Because what you resist persists, but what you witness dissolves. How the field mirrors your coherence. The field does not mirror your word, it mirrors your signal. If you affirm abundance but vibrate in fear, the field reflects fear. If you script love but vibrate in unworthiness, the field reflects unworthiness. If you pray for healing but vibrate in "I am broken," the field reflects brokenness. This is not punishment, it is precision. The quantum field is exact. It shows you who you are being, not who you are pretending to be. That's why true manifestation is not about speaking it until it happens. It's about becoming it until it has no choice but to appear. So here's the truth your subconscious has been whispering all along. You are not broken. You are not late. You are not lost. Every resistance, every delay, every loop you thought was holding you back was actually guiding you deeper into coherence. It was your subconscious, desperate for you to realize, I am not your enemy. I am your guardian. It has never been about fighting yourself. It has always been about listening to yourself. Think about it. What if every so-called setback was actually a checkpoint, a sacred pause asking, are you ready to hold the frequency of the life you've been asking for? Because here's what most people miss. The universe will never deny you, but your system must feel safe enough to receive. If abundance feels unsafe, it will slip away. If love feels unsafe, you will push it away. If expansion feels unsafe, you will sabotage it. And that's not failure. That's intelligence. That's your subconscious protecting you until you learn a higher way. But right now in this moment, you are learning. You are remembering. You are realizing that safety does not come from clinging to the past. It comes from expanding into the present. So take a breath with me, in and out. Feel your body. Feel your heart. Feel how even here, right now in this ordinary moment, you are safe. And if you can be safe here, you can be safe in love. You can be safe in wealth. You can be safe in healing. You can be safe in expansion. This is how quantum truth works. The moment you feel safety in the now, the subconscious relaxes. The nervous system stabilizes. Your frequency coheres. And the field finally reflects back the future you've been praying for. So maybe it was never sabotage. Maybe it was synchronization. Maybe the breakdowns were not punishments, but alignments. Maybe what you've been calling resistance was really love. Because the field does not test you, it trains you. And once you are coherent with the signal of your future, reality has no choice but to bend. So here's my invitation to you. Stop fighting yourself. Start listening to yourself. Every emotion is a message. Every fear is a signal. Every resistance is a doorway. And the more you meet yourself with compassion, the faster you dissolve the loops and step into the version of you that has always been waiting. The truth is simple, and it's this. You are already entangled with your future. You are already living the timeline you've been seeking, and the only thing left is to feel safe enough to step into it. So as you leave this video, carry this knowing with you. You are not behind, you are not stuck, you are sinking, and your subconscious isn't trying to stop you, it's trying to walk you home.